Welcome to Jesus Before Money. My name is Corey. The FOMO is real. Everybody go out right now, sell your house, your wife, your kids, and buy crypto. No, don't do that. That is not financial advice. I know a lot of people are excited about crypto as we head into crypto week, and I'm not going to be a Debbie Downer. I just like to look at the charts and be real. And yes, I made my first crypto video, and I was more leaning on cautionary side that we could see selling in the stock market, which I still think is coming, and that we could probably get better buys in the crypto market. That may or may not be the case, but when the stock market sells, everything will sell, including your XRP. So just be careful, okay? But to begin, we're going to look at the 10-year yield. You got to look at the 10-year yield. You got to look at the SPX. You got to look at Bitcoin before you talk about anything else, right? But today's video is going to be about the ISO 20022 compliance tokens. And for those of you that do not know what ISO 20022 is, it is a global financial messaging standard that enhances communication between financial institutions and cryptocurrencies. It allows for better integration of crypto assets into traditional finance systems, improving transaction efficiency and security. This is literally the beginning of the B system. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people don't even know what the B system is. But I'm just going to say, and I'm going to repeat what somebody says all the time that I listen to, is that the thing that we wish the most right now to get rich off of the cryptocurrencies would be the one thing that we try to get rid of as the Antichrist takes over. But we have time. What the devil meant for bad, God will use for good. So anyway, let's just talk with interest rates, because a lot of people, especially a lot of crypto people, they probably have no idea what the 10-year yield is. But anyway, the 10-year yield is very important because this is pretty much what they base your auto loans, your home mortgages, and your credit card interest rates on. This impacts our spending. It's been a 40-year consolidation pattern with a breakout, okay? Now, I know Trump and Powell, Trump's trying to get rid of Powell and yada, yada, yada. But Powell does not control the 10-year yield. This is bought and sold on the market. Like, you have to have people buy the debt, U.S. debt. That's why Bitcoin is surging right now, because U.S. debt is set to expand by $5 trillion, right? The dollar's done. We know that. The crypto people know that. And the move into cryptocurrency is going to be great in the beginning, but it will turn on us in the end. I promise you that. But anyway, thing to watch as we head into crypto week, okay? Just like cryptocurrencies, the 10-year yield is starting to head up, right? We had a breakout, confirmed, now we're pushing up here. As interest rates go higher, the stock market tends to go down. Cryptocurrencies should go down if the stock market goes down. And a lot of things have had a really nice run, so just be careful if you're buying here. Okay, not financial advice. None of this is financial advice. I'm just saying, I know we're heading into crypto week. It's going to be bullish, and maybe they pass the bill. Maybe we just keep ripping. But do you think they really want you to be rich? Do you think they really want to just have this huge run and then come in, or are they going to try to shake you out before they implement the system? Just think about that, okay? Try to control your emotions. Young Padawan. Okay, cryptocurrency FOMO is real with you. I know. You like to buy at highs and sell at lows. I know it's you. I know. But the SPX, okay? We're up here. I mean, we got trend line. I mean, we got resistance of death, okay? We do have support here from these previous all-time highs, right? And we have this trend line. But this trend line breaks next week. We have CPI, PPI, retail sales, bank stocks, really getting into earnings. If we start getting a sell-off and retest this former all-time high and then break, your cryptocurrencies that you're just buying right now, you're probably going to have to hold them a little bit. I mean, it's pure FOMO time. Please don't be a FOMO. Please. The one reason I want to make these videos is to just try to have people have common sense, okay? Now, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is looking really strong. Okay, boom, boom, boom. This trend line up here has served very well. And could this be an inverse head and shoulders? Sure, but upsloping line on an inverse head and shoulders isn't typical, but it is Bitcoin. I'm going to take it off the table. And I promise you, if you stick around, you're going to really like what I show you about Bitcoin, okay? But we've had pierces in the past where it's broken out and then came in. So is this now a breakout? Okay. And all I can say about that is we broke out and confirmed. So technically it's a breakout, right? And even though this is upsloping, this is like an inverse head and shoulders with inverse head and shoulders. I mean, this is a very, very, very bullish chart. Okay. It's very tempting, but I'm just going to be cautious. Now, I thought when we were up in here and we're kind of forming this bull flag, that we were going to run up into here and then pull back. But for the past couple of weeks, I've been gone. What happened is we came up into it, but then we started chopping sideways. We started putting in a bull flag before this big move. The only thing I can say about that is we're very, very extended. Okay, this trend line here with the breakout is now support, so we could see a retest here. Okay, just have that in the back of your mind. You get breakouts and then you get retests before the next move up. You get a breakout, you get a retest before the next move up. Okay, you can FOMO in here. But if you're going to buy Bitcoin right now, please wear a FOMO shirt. Like, send a picture with FOMO. iFOMO. iFOMO. It should be a name of something. I don't know. But Bitcoin looks pretty cool. All right? I mean, I like Bitcoin, obviously. But this is what I really find interesting. Is a lot of people maybe you've heard of the power rule. Maybe you haven't. But you can kind of look at Bitcoin in a logarithmic sense. If I put on these trend lines, let's see, bing, bing, right, on Bitcoin in a logarithmic scale. Look at this. Ding, 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 ding. Nice support, right? So maybe we come down to support, which I thought maybe we could go to 50. This is showing maybe like 80. Be a good buying opportunity. All right, we'll find out if this holds. But look at the top of this thing. If you can see over here on the right-hand side, look at the top of that thing. $338,000. Look where this goes. I mean, you're talking about $1.3 million. The only thing I really find interesting about this is look where it meets in 2030. And there's a lot of talk about Shemitah cycles and where Shemitah cycles start, or Jubilee years. That could be the beginning of tribulation. And a lot of people are pointing to 2030. Not necessarily that that's going to happen, right? No one knows the day, time, or hour. But it's just interesting that this comes to a head here, right? I mean, either we break up or we break down, but just interesting. Bitcoin could see 300,000, and that's what all the bulls are talking about. Just draw these two lines in a logarithmic chart, dude, and really put on your FOMO shirt. Get a FOMO hat and just say, I love Bitcoin. Here, I'll do it with you. I'll put on my Bitcoin hat, okay? Bitcoin. I love it. I mine Bitcoin. So I'm just saying, I try not to let emotions, okay? But regardless of how bullish that could be, I'm going to take that off. In the short term, just know that, let me put back on that parallel and get rid of these trend lines. Oh, where'd my parallel go? There it is. just know that we have pushed out of this thing in the past, and we have been rejected, okay? So on the weekly chart, if we can get a close of this by above here by the end of next week, then who knows where we're going. But with NVIDIA at all-time highs, Bitcoin at all-time highs, the stock market kind of teetering, these are usually reversal signs. It's usually when the institutions start to unload and the retail is their exit liquidity, and then retail stuck holding the bag, unfortunately. But I'm going to say positive, okay? I'm going to say positive. Bitcoin's going to $1 million. Not financial advice. Maybe one day. But you know, I would wait for a pullback. I would wait for a pullback if you want to buy Bitcoin, hopefully to this line. You know, but who knows? If the stock market sells hard here, who knows? All right, now this is XRP. We're going to start getting into our ISO coins for all those ISO enthusiasts. But you can't talk about these without the others, right? And we can talk about Bitcoin dominance and the shift and yada, yada, yada. But all these coins are becoming so institutionalized. These rotations into for altcoin seasons, I think a lot of that's going to start changing a little bit. It's not necessarily going to be the same as it used to be, okay? Cycles are changing a little bit because of all the institutional adoption. All right, so I did have this wedge here, and I'm going to delete a lot of stuff. I just wanted you to see all this mess. We had a wedge, now we're breaking out. But I did notice something. Look at this. Maybe a shoulder, maybe a head, maybe a shoulder. So let's look at that together. I'm going to hide all this stuff, clean it up a little bit. But anyway, if you just do a fib of a retracement from here to here, you know, this $3 line is acting as resistance. So in the back here, and this was just such a vertical move. Now we're going to get a retest. So don't FOMO. Don't FOMO. No FOMO. Buy the retest, okay? This will retest. This line here is now support. A breakout confirmation support. This should be support. This should hold. So back to $2 maybe we go. I mean, you break out, you retest. Okay? And then that's why $3 was resistance, because we moved right up into the 0.786 fib. We moved in there very quickly. So now it's going to digest for a while, okay? All right, let me take that off. Let me hide that. I think that's good enough. Okay, so I believe you can see what I'm talking about here with a little shoulder. What? I'm going to have to bring this in. Anyway, just bear with me. Head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Just pretend that's inverse head and shoulders, okay? And a breakout. Which very well possibly can be. It's just not the prettiest thing in the world, right? So that takes us up roughly about $1. I'll give it $1.30, okay? I'll go on the high side. Hopefully y'all can see that. Okay, so $1.30 from breakout. I don't know. It takes us up to like 359. Would take us up to maybe a pierce up here, and then maybe a little pullback consolidation, right? But I will caution you that you're probably going to see a retest of this line, and I will start making more videos. Okay, so resistance turns into support after a breakout. I mean, you might just think I'm wrong and this is going to $10,000 tomorrow, but it's not how it works. So I'll definitely look to add back on a breakout now that we've broken out and confirmed. This should hold support, okay? And we'll revisit that if we start coming in. Notice the same pattern with XLM. Now, XLM is my favorite crypto. Outside of Caspa. I made that video before. But look, if you look at this full fib from the bottom to the top, right? We're not even back up to the 50% retracement. But it's trying. And that's why it's starting to stall out. Just too vertical of a move. Too vertical of a move. It's going to start to come in. Okay. Now let me hide some of this stuff. Oh, that's good enough. But I also noticed a very similar pattern here, just like XRP. And I just wasn't paying attention really, I guess. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Another inverse head and shoulders. I'll actually draw it out so you can see it. Left shoulder, head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. All right. A little funky, but definitely an inverse head and shoulders. So, from the bottom of the head to the trend line, boop. Let's call it 20 cents. Okay. From the breakout, up just about 20 cents. That could be the full measure move. I'm like, oh, Corey, it's going to go so much higher. Sure, I mean, it's very possible. But look at the vertical nature here. Look at the vertical nature here, right? So I would assume we start to condense, and we'll see how that pattern emerges. But if you're buying here, today, on Saturday, what are we? July 12th, okay? God bless your heart. You know, the FOMO is real with you. Put FOMO on your forehead. I'm not trying to make fun of people. I'm really trying to get rid of the FOMO and have people make wise decisions, okay? Wise decisions. And sure, I was kind of thinking that this could come in, but look, we broke out of this line, so what does that mean? We should come back and retest. This is going to be support, but we should come back and retest. We should. So we'll see. Okay. Cardano. Oh, I bought this up. For people that don't know, XRP, it's a fast and scalable digital asset designed for seamless cross-border payments and financial institution integration. It's pretty much going to be the SWIFT system. And I do think that one day this might go to $10,000. How crazy of a market capitalization that would be, but it's very possible because of what this thing is, okay? XLM, Stellar, a blockchain network facilitating fast, low-cost international payments and asset transfers. My favorite crypto, okay? I know a lot of people like XRP. I really like XLM, okay? Cardano, ADA, a research-driven blockchain focused on security, scalability, and sustainable decentralization apps. They're also doing a lot of upgrades to help support Bitcoin. But anyway, I really like this wedge on Cardano. Okay, you can see here that boom, 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 and we pull back. So this is the resistance. It's into resistance. I think all these things. I mean, XLM, maybe it pushes more. XRP, this pivot here, right? I kind of already showed you these. These are kind of into resistance. Can they keep going? Sure. Are we going to get a pullback? More than likely because of the big moves that we just had. Okay. Where do we pull back to? I don't know. I mean, this could retest this line. But another thing I see, just like the other ones, is possibly a shoulder, maybe a head. Maybe we round off the shoulder, then we could pop up to this line. Okay. And so look for maybe a 50% retrace on this thing. Maybe get back to 0.6499. But if the stock market starts selling and everything else, we might see the bottom of this line, like I said before, which was about 40 cents. So just keep it on the back of your mind. Don't go heavy into any one position. Just buy. My best advice would be, just pick good levels and buy at those levels and just nibble. Nibble, nibble, nibble. Okay? Algorand. I really like Algorand. So Algorand, a high-speed blockchain designed for scalability, decentralization, and enterprise-grade applications. You look at this chart. Imagine Algorand. I mean, this thing, and you can stake this, and you can run your own node. I don't think you only need like 30,000 tokens, 30,000 Algorand. I mean, I really like Algorand. I do. I'm not gonna lie. Now I got a lot going on down in here. Let's see what she's showing. I thought maybe this was another inverse head and shoulders. Let's see. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Not really. I mean, you would have to come up to here. I don't really see it. I mean, maybe, but that's a stretch. Maybe more like this. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Okay? So I'm going to get rid of this line. I'm going to hide that. Okay? Shoulder, head, shoulder. It very much looks like a head, inverse head and shoulders right there. Just so you can see it. I'll do it again. Head and shoulders. Let's see. Somewhere in here. Just these lows to your head. And then your shoulder. Head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And the good thing is, look, you've broken out. You're almost about to confirm a breakout. We need to get above this candle. You still have 16 hours, so I guess I'm already into Sunday. Monday, we want to see a close above this candle. Okay, if this becomes a failed breakout, then watch out on all these, right? But anyway, let's just assume, let's stay bullish. Let's get into the FOMO mode. Crypto week, everything's bullish. Everything's going to be great. We're all going to make millions and billions of dollars. So you're looking about 0.1414 cents. Let's call it 15. So if we come up from this and go up 15 cents, let's see. Yeah. Kind of like this to this pivot right here. This pivot on December 8th, 24. That's what I like. Boom, boom, up to here, and then consolidate and see what happens. But yeah, I do like Algorand. If we can close above here, maybe we get a check back, just like all of them. You get a check back to, which was formerly resistance, now becomes support, and then we move. You know, especially if we come down in here again. Maybe we come back into here. You know, I'm not saying we're going to the moon tomorrow. I think we got some correction. Maybe I'm wrong, but when you get a breakout, you get a check back, and then you move up. I'll show you. It's constant theme in a lot of different charts. Okay, so just be cautious. You should be a check back before you move up. Okay. Algorand, HBAR. HBAR, the same thing. I know a lot of people like HBAR. HBAR. Let's see. Let me read here. A unique distributed ledger using hashgraph technology for secure and efficient transactions. This is also an ISO crypto. I'm going to hide this. Hide that. I'm going to keep that trend line. But looky. Inverse head and shoulders. And we broke up here. Right? That will be support. That line would be support if we break here. But look, we've confirmed a breakout now. Okay, we're getting above this 50% retracement. HBAR is looking really good. HBAR is looking really good. So I don't want to waste time in drawing the inverse head and shoulders. I think you can see that pretty good enough. But you're looking at a 13-cent move. So here's the breakout. 13. Kind of right up into here. Right about 31, 32 cents. All right? And I'm not saying it's going to go there tomorrow, but typically you break out, you recheck, and then you go. And if we recheck back to this 0.1784, this 0.0618 Fibonacci, that'd be great, right? Actually, these need to be flipped around. This was when it was coming down. Now we're going up. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I like this support line here if we get a check back, okay? And I'll keep them updated. Now, XDC is another one of my really favorites. XDC network, a hybrid blockchain designed for global trade, finance, and tokenization of real-world assets. I like XDC a lot. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, and then also this wedge pattern. I haven't gone over that, but you know, we'll eventually run up to here, 14 cents. So you're looking about a 2x move from current position. But I think, I don't know what this candle is. Some of these charts are a little funky, but that was a massive. That would have been a time to buy. But anyway, I see a shoulder, ahead, and looky, a shoulder, right? Not the cleanest. We kind of had to come back in. But anyway, possibly another head and shoulders, knees and toes. Okay, so that puts us at about a 3 cent move from breakout. So 3 cent move takes us up into about the 0.095. Maybe do just a whole 10 cents. Maybe we get to a whole 10 cents just because we're going to be so close. 0.095. You know, I kind of this pivot right here is what it's looking like. This pivot would probably start acting as resistance. And then as we moved up to here, closer to that 10 cent line. But a breakout. What happens after a breakout? Usually a retest. Okay, so a retest would be a good time to buy. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. Quant. I know a lot of people like quant because there's a low market, low supply, but it enables interoperability between different blockchains and network through its over ledger technology. Wow. Okay, but yeah, I like it. Look at this little wedge here, okay? And then this could be a very flat inverse head and shoulders. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Classic, right? The only thing is, it is not really, I mean, it's moved, but, you know, hasn't really been a super big high flyer here. But, you know, getting up into here, you're going to get rejected. You know? So you don't have a lot of room to go before you stall out here. If you're looking, you just buy it and hold forever. Yeah, it's going to go up. You know, with all these, you can just do that. But I like to get you into better positions. So what I would say is, if you don't have any quant, you know, maybe we break up and get a check back to this line. Get a check back to the 123 level. And then you buy for your move. And then it's probably just going to struggle in here before we break out. But when you break out of here, I mean, you're going to have a much larger move, right? So I don't know what to say here. But I definitely see an inverse head and shoulders. You're going to run into resistance. Going to get a check back. But if you can break out of here and then buy, you know, it's a good time. You could buy now, or you could wait just in case we get another retest somewhere a little bit lower. Okay? And then IOTA. I don't know. I'm just not a fan. IOTA, lightweight, feeless protocol, optimized for the Internet of Things and data integrity. Okay. It's supposed to be for like robots communicating with each other, all the robots that are coming and that are going to try to behead us and kill us. Yeah, great. Anyway, in this little wedge pattern, trying to break out. It's kind of been a dud. I mean, it's had its moves, but nothing crazy. But once again, maybe a little shoulder, maybe a head, maybe a shoulder, right? So where could this go? From here to here, about, call it 20 cents. Here. You're looking about a 2x move, was nothing to shake, you know, to complain about. So looking up into these pivots here. Whoop. But once again, what do we know? You get a breakout, you should get a retest. Okay, so you can either buy here and hope it goes up, or if you miss the breakout, you can wait for a retest. Do the retests always come? No. Is it a good time to buy here? Maybe. I mean, it is at the lows of the chart. You know, I'm just trying to give you a broader view. Nobody has a crystal ball and tells you what exactly is coming down. All I'm saying is on XRP, we've had a huge move up. We should get a retest. XLM, huge move up. We should get a retest. Cardano have not broken out, right? In fact, we should round out a right shoulder before we can even push. So this is probably going to come in. But I like Cardano. I think it's a great buy here. Could be, but you could get a better price. That's all I got to say, okay? Algorand. I really, really, really like Algorand. I think this thing's gonna just moonshot, okay? Could just buy here and hold. Maybe get a better price, okay? Like I said, when you break out, you should retest. Break out, and it's just hugging. But break out, maybe we get a much larger move, but it's really not budging, you know? It's like a little stick figure with the stick, like, come on, move. But I like it in the long run. HBAR, a lot of people like HBAR, and this is looking very, very strong. This bar is huge, and you're getting above your 50% level, okay? Kind of need to flip that, but anyway. Shoulder, head, shoulder, breakout, should get a retest. Should get a retest. Not guaranteed, but just keep that in the back of your mind. XDC is already trying to retest. So I think that would be a good buying level. Plus now you had this line and this line converging. You're going to have a lot of support here around 55, 60 cents. Okay. Quant, still trying to break out like Cardano, a lot like Cardano, right? This maybe this little, you know, head and shoulders forming. Quant is just very flat. So I would look for a rejection here. So, you know, not a whole lot of room to run in quant. And then IOTA, yeah, it could have a big move, but we still haven't even broken out of here, right? Everything else is ripping and IOTA is just chilling. So with that, if you made it this far, thank you. Please just give me a like. I don't care if you subscribe. And then leave a comment. What do you want me to look at? What crypto do you like? What stock? Whatever, okay? I'm going to start making a lot more videos this week, and then I have to hit the road again. But I hope you enjoyed it. I wasn't trying to be mean to anybody. I just want you to think, right? Fear and greed, you know, it's basically the fight and flight response when you trade. People get very emotional. As you can see with me, I try to stay calm. Try to look at the charts and make a good decision, okay? IOTA is looking like a good buy here. I'm just saying. Maybe get a little check back. Maybe you don't. Make good decisions. None of this is financial advice. I hope you enjoyed it. Just to leave you with one thing. Look where we're at in the charts. This is all resistance, okay? I know we're heading into Crypto Week. I know everybody's really bullish, but we have a lot of data coming out next week, and we have a lot of earnings. Watch my bank video. I know the microphone's a little crazy, but next week is going to be very critical week. And if the rug gets pulled, crypto will be pulled too. Okay? Now, thank you, and have a blessed week, and God bless you. Goodbye.